where there's proof that what we set out to do is happening. And what happened was 2 years ago we went to East Tech High School. We had some basketball players that were having some real serious challenges. There's 5 different gangs at East Tech. This year they're closing down 2 other schools and bringing those 2 schools to Tech, so our mission field's tripling in size. But as we came into the school, they were very concerned about this faith-based organization, these crazy white people with their blue bus that goes and blows the train whistle and tries to have church. You know, if you hear about that and you're an administrator in a school, you think they're half crazy. And then the fear sets in about this whole separation of church and state. And so the principal called us in and he said, I'd like to meet with you and your staff. I have my school district representative, I have my union representative, and we have several other folks they're going to want to hear about what you guys are doing. And it felt very antagonistic, like, hey, you guys have to prove to us that we can open our doors to you. So my board chair and my basketball coach was walking down the hall with my dad, and by about halfway down the hall, there was this noise of chairs kicking out, and there's about 400 students in a lunchroom. And the chaos kind of began to break out, and the guys that were with my dad turned around and realized he was about 200 yards behind them. They were standing next to a security guard when 8 boys surrounded my father. And everybody's hearts stopped beating just for a minute as they expected him to be jumped and beaten in that high school. And a young man named Chris, who's 6'8", he was the senior center on the school's basketball team, said, you're Pastor Phil. And he said, yeah. He goes, you're from Heaven Train. My dad said, yeah. And he looked down in front of all the students in his school. He said, I love you. And he hugged him. The next 7 boys in line either shook his hand or hugged him and said, we love you and we appreciate you, and began to sing Heaven Train song, Heaven is a Wonderful Place. By the time we got to that 3rd floor office to the meeting, the word had gotten through the school what had happened in the cafeteria, and the administrator said, I don't care who you are or what you're doing. If that's what you're going to bring to our school, here's the keys. Welcome to East Tech. You saw the video of what's happened in our first year at the school. There's chaos breaking out in that high school as kids and teachers and everybody are afraid what's going to happen when they bring in all these other students. But what we see it is that our mission field is tripling, that God is bringing the church to us. We have always taken the church to the people, but now God is bringing our target focus group to us. John Wesley said, do all the good you can, by all the means that you can, in all the ways that you can, in all the places that you can, at all the times that you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. Thanks to this district, I have been able to grow up witnessing that statement lived out. Not just by my father, but by countless people in this audience and across this district who have come alongside and lived by vision. The exciting thing for me as a son is that following in my father's footsteps, we're casting vision. But there is evidence of what God has already done in our community that is brought to sight people that have doubts. And it's giving us the opportunity to take next steps that will change forever the community that we serve. Amen. Thank you, North Central Ohio District, for all your support. And thank you, Dad, for being a person that saw with vision.